Quant might just be a good buy at the current price. Welcome back to Bearman Crypto, where we talk all things crypto. So in today's video, I want to take a look at Quant. This is a project a few months ago was really hot. Everyone was talking about it and the price was pumping at the time. I didn't get involved and things at that point, I think Quant was around about $200, and since then things have come back down a little bit, and I think now potentially might be a good time to start looking at this specific project. Of course, not financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research on this. But Quant specifically are looking at bringing in interoperability to blockchain. This is something that obviously a lot of projects in the crypto space have been doing. So if you think about things like Moonbeam, you've got Rune amongst others. However, Quant is slightly different. Quant is, it's not a blockchain. It's essentially, I would say it's a software company. And what they're really looking to do is different to what other tokens such as Moonbeam and Rune have tried to do in terms of bringing in interoperability to the blockchain space. So basically, if we have a look here in terms of who Quant are targeting, so you've obviously got financial institutions, enterprises, and developers, and also people that might want to partner up with them. And when we take a look a bit further in terms of, the type of areas where they operate is basically looking at capital markets. You've got payments, digital currencies. Specifically, things that spring to mind is CBDCs. You've got insurance, supply chain, compliance, amongst a whole host of various things. So if we take a look at specifically, I just want to show you a bit about their team, just so you can see in terms of what sort of company Quant are in. So the founder, Gilbert, was basically, he's been quite prominent in pushing through Quant. And when you look at it, he's got his LinkedIn, so he's worked for some well-known companies. So obviously Quant having been founded in 2018, that's where he's been based the rest of the time to present, but he's worked for a MasterCard company. He's also worked for PwC, specifically in cybersecurity. He's worked for BP, HSBC, so he's worked for some fairly big companies. You've got HM Treasury here, which he was there for a couple of years, and you've got EY further down. So he's worked for some quite big firms in quite higher up positions. So you can be comfortable that the rest of the team that he's obviously working with, obviously they're fully doxed here, that they're respectable people. I haven't obviously gone into every single LinkedIn profile, but this is the guy who's the really the face of Quant basically. And if we have a look at specifically, what I just wanted to show you was a bit more about specifically their products, and basically it shows how Quant works. So basically the main selling point of Quant is this Overledger. So Overledger is basically this piece of software that will sit over the top of all blockchains, and basically have each blockchain talking to the other. If you think of the current blockchains that we've got, you've got Ethereum, which is obviously closed network. You've got, if you've got Bitcoin, that's essentially a closed network. And what Quant are seeking to do is basically develop a software that will sit on top of the whole blockchain layer and talk to every single project or crypto or blockchain that is available, and that's really the problem that they're seeking to solve here. And they what they're seeking to do here is basically become, I guess, the Mac iOS or the Windows iOS for blockchain, and specifically focusing around distributed ledgers. And there was an interesting article that I just wanted to share with you, which I feel that gives a bit of insight, and it was an article by the founder, which gave a bit of insight in terms of where the distributed ledger technology is going. So Gilbert Verdian basically released this article on their website a few days ago, and what he does here is he gives his perspective in terms of where this where he sees 2023 specifically for quant. So basically, where he talks about banks and asset managers looking to basically recruit blockchain specialists, and what quant really are seeking to really say to these guys is, hey, you don't need to be able to write a whole line of code or recruit all these specialists. They can basically set all that up in the background and enable big institutions to come in and play in this space. And there's also a specific focus around CBDCs as well, how there'll be a big push specifically for regulation. He believes, particularly in this year and over the next couple of years, that there's going to be a real drive for introducing regulation into this space. And one thing, if you don't know, Quant is one of those crypto projects which is specifically ISO 222 certified. So basically what that is it's basically a financial services payment standard, which in the future a lot of organizations will be required to basically follow, and Quant is one of those ones which is basically approved. So as early as 2025, that will become the standard that all large payment systems will need to follow. We can see a lot of other currencies which are ISO 222 compliant. You got Stellar, you got Hedera, you got IOTA, XRP, Algorand, and Quant, of course. And basically, so Quant was launched back in 2018. So if we just have a look on CoinGecko, in terms of just a bit of information specifically on Quant. So in terms of circulating supply, you've got total and max supply of 14.6 million and circulating supply of 14.5 million. So in the grand scheme of things, it is a very low available supply, and basically near enough all the circulating supply is already available at the moment. So this is one of the things that, in my opinion, will be quite appealing in terms of the scarcity of this. So in terms of the supply, it's less than Bitcoin, and if you think about where the current price is, $142, this is something that makes it highly appealing. And you could speculate that the price, if and when we return back to a bull market, this price will go considerably higher. Their all-time high, which was achieved in 2021, was $427, where there was minimal development in terms of where Quant is today, and there's a lot more attention on Quant. So this price could definitely easily overshoot this mark. You're talking easily, $1.5 grand Quant each. That's just my own opinion. But if we look at specifically the token sale, so when the token originally launched, although there's 14.6 million today, When it originally launched, there was about 45 million available. Most of that supply was since burnt at the point that they obviously did the ICO. Hence, now that available supply is now down to 14.6 million. You can see it on Etherscan if you so wish, but you can see what sort of price the ICO was at. $1.10, which is basically minimal. So if you're ever lucky enough to have got in at this point, you'll have made some amazing gains, but that is nothing compared to what we're likely to see in the future. And if we have a look, there was a recent article which basically showed how much the price of Quant was. Basically, you had big whales starting to accumulate Quant. You've got this graphic here which shows basically, I think it was sometime in January, where you had this spike in terms of transactions and whales starting to accumulate Quant. So this is something that you have to bear in mind and just consider. We've had the accumulation take place, but we haven't had the pump yet. So you might get a nice little short-term pump in the next few weeks on Quant, should that happen. But 2023 will likely become a big year for Quant. If the bottom for the overall crypto market is indeed in, that remains to be seen. And if it is indeed, I think the price of Quant will start to see it move favorably to the upside. Myself personally have started to accumulate myself some Quant. Obviously not going to go all in, going to accumulate it. If we keep getting pullbacks, I will start to accumulate. I'm looking at accumulating anything below $150. I think is definitely worthwhile grabbing yourself some Quant, because who knows, this will easily pull 10 to 20x in the next bull cycle. But that's all I wanted to share with you. I'm starting to accumulate some Quant. Let me know if you've really got yourself a bag of Quant or starting to look into Quant to buy some. But that's all I wanted to share with you in this video, and I will see you in my next video.